I was looking at Deuteronomy 30. Let's see, Deuteronomy 30:11, and it says, "For this commandment which I command you this day is not too difficult for you, nor is it out of reach." Moses is referring to the Torah, and this is something that I've always struggled with. Pastors say that you can't keep the law. Moses says that you can in this scripture, Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 10 and 11. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. And then my second question is...
Oh, wait, don't do the second. I can't remember. Let me just do this one, and then go to the third. Robert, I think that the law, the 10 Commandments, can be kept except for probably the 10th one, thou shalt not covet. That's a tough one, and it's a spiritual one. But I think someone could, well, not perfectly. The question is perfectly. Have no other gods before him. I mean, the moment you want to eat a donut when you're supposed to be fasting, you could almost interpret that as having another God. It's really tough. But I think the
why would Moses say it's not too far off? Because I know that the 613 commandments, there's only a few of them that are actually in the Torah. The rest are the rabbinical teachings, and I think that's what Jesus was talking about. He was heaping all of these extra commandments on these people,
yeah.
And it was becoming oppressive.
Yeah.
Because the rabbis interpreted this
wrongly.
Well, and this is how they got to the 613. My understanding, there's really only a few, maybe about 100, but the remaining of them, they wanted to make themselves out to be righteous. But that's what my question is how can Moses say the law is not far off, you can do it, but yet pastors say you cannot obey the law?
He didn't say they can do it. He said that he's trying to encourage them and say you can approach it. He didn't say you could do it, because if he said you could do it, then Paul would be wrong. And Paul said the law cannot make anybody perfect. It's not because the law is faulty, it's because we are. No man can perfectly keep it. Remember, James and Galatians says if you keep the whole law but fail in one point, you're guilty of all. So you're talking about a 60-year life of living under the law and not being able to fail in one point. That's pretty darn tough. So I think Moses was being encouraging. I think he was saying we can follow through this. Don't give up. But Christ came and he said, it has been written, thou shalt not do this. But I say, and he enhanced it, giving you what the true spirit and meaning of the law was, to love God and love man. And Christ is the one who really brought out what it was about. So I think your question's good, but I think you're interpreting Moses as saying you could keep it. We know that the rich young ruler came to Christ, and he said, Jesus said, what should I do to be saved? And Jesus said, do this, do this, do this, do this. And he says, I've done those things from my youth. And it says in Luke, not in Matthew, Mark, but in Luke, and the Lord loved him. So there can be some real good living people who are able to not commit adultery and kill and keep the Sabbath day holy and honor their parents and have done well. But no one is going to be able to do that their entire life perfectly.